que hay ahora mismo por aquí es de habla hispana, pero como lo grabaremos y después lo subiremos a las redes, vamos a ir alternando entre español e inglés, con más pena que gloria seguramente, pero bueno. Vamos a esperar a que suban los artistas, o los otros artistas. Okay, so we are recording. Estamos grabando. Este va a ser un AMA especial para explicar y enseñar mucho material sobre el proceso creativo, sobre la parte sobre todo ilustrativa. Va a ser una primera sesión de 2 en las que haremos el breakdown de todo el trabajo artístico detrás. En esta primera sesión vamos a hablar del proceso de ilustración. Estarán Flan y Yago en el escenario y nos irán contando pues cómo ha sido todo el proceso desde los inicios, cómo fue desde la conceptualización hasta los primeros bocetos y todas las pruebas, ensayos y declinaciones e iteraciones de ilustrativas para llegar a lo que tenemos ahora aquí delante. Well, this is going to be a special talk about the artwork. We are going to make a whole breakdown about the artwork, about the process of illustrative process, and we will be talking about the origins, about how we came like from the very beginning and the first seed ideas to the whole developing process, and we will be sharing our first insights and the first sketches and the first draws until we got to the final Misphits that we already know. And this is going to be the first session of a band of 2 sessions. The second one will be about the generative process and all the algorithm process, and so we will be all esperar a que suba Yago. Okay. Hope you are doing well, all of you. I know that it's not the perfect time. It's a Friday and it's almost lunchtime here in Spain, almost 2:00. So it's not probably the perfect moment, but we are gonna record the session, so it will be available for all the community. So we have to think about the people that is not here, but will be watching the video later on. So let me talk with Iago because I don't know why he's not arriving. He had some problems before with the Discord, so maybe something is not working. Okay, here it is. Iago, how are you? ¿Cómo estás, Iago?
Bien. ¿Se me escucha?
Sí. Yes. Sí, te escuchamos. For the English listeners, we will be switching from Spanish to English in order to make it easier for the whole community. So we will be having some moments in Spanish and then trying to translate them into English. Nada, vamos a ir empezando así un poco a un poco a lo loco, ¿no? En español, inglés, vamos a ir mezclando, vamos a ir alternando para que sea dinámico y sea más cómodo también para todo el mundo. Bueno, empezamos. Tenemos aquí a Flan y a Yago. Como sabéis, Flan se encargó de la parte generativa, de todo el proceso de desarrollo algorítmico. A su vez, trabajó codo con codo con Yago, que se encargó principalmente de la parte ilustrativa, del desarrollo del diseño ilustrativo. En conjunto son pues los concepts también del proyecto y, o sea, la codirección creativa. Y vamos a estar como precisamente en esas dos figuras dividiendo las sesiones en dos momentos, y esta primera vamos a empezar con el trabajo principalmente de Yago, en donde Flan, por supuesto, desarrolló un trabajo de acompañamiento y de anclaje para saltar a la otra parte. Bueno, here I'm going to translate fast. Yago and Flan are the two main characters in this process. Yago was in charge of the illustrative process, and Flan of the generative process, or like algorithm process. And both of them were working on the artistic direction. So we are gonna focus now on the illustrative process, and I'm gonna begin, if you don't mind. I'm gonna share a little bit of information with you. We will be sharing a lot of screens today to show you the whole process. So we have here, let me show you. Okay. We are gonna share with you like an inner document where we have all the conceptual process before we got to the final Misfits. So we started sharing a lot of insights, a lot of references that were part of the developing process, and we divide that into different categories. Like, for example, the traits that we want the Misfits to have. We were also like organizing the origins that we wanted in the very beginning. As you can see, they are quite different from what we finally got. You see here humans, but we were talking about reborn stars, which were like reference to our dead artist. We have greens, blue warriors, wildlife, NFT inspired like other collections, skulls. We also had some other categories that we didn't even develop in a graphic way. All these graphics you will see later are from Flan, and they were the very beginning references. Then here we had like a lot of influencers and Easter eggs that we wanted to be part of the project. So we wanted to like get completely involved into our pop and culture references that were part of the roots of the Misfits. We have like a lot of films, books. We even had like possible names of planets, or even the professional roles of the Misfits, like developer, artist, artisan, whatever. The music that the Misfits were supposed to be listening, or even some artistic references, characters. As you can see here, there is a lot of information like symbols, activism, different causes, and different aspects that were part of the developing process. Then we made also a lot of approaches into the names, on the possible names. The Misfits were about to be called in different ways. For example, like Neo Guerrilla or Pathfinders. We have like different here. This was a very interesting process, a very creative process, and it's like a cemetery, but it's nice because it was the trigger for everything. Then we have here some references about possible elements that the Misfits could have been wearing. And then here we have a division of traits, a lot of things. We even had a lot of quotes. Someone is with the open mic, and we are hearing the text typing.
Oh, sorry, it's me. Fuck. I'm sorry.
No worries, Jaime. Then we have here like a lot of quotes, sorry, about our fights and our thoughts, our ethical position. And these quotes were here because we wanted to introduce them in our statements of the Misfits, like in a T-shirt or like in a book or whatever. So this was also something important, and well, we have here like a lot of things that were related to the initial origins. So I'm gonna stop sharing, and we can jump now into the illustrative process. For like introduce you there, what we wanted to say is that the Misfits were an expression of our socio-political ideology and also about our concerns about our life perspective, like our cosmovision. So we wanted the Misfits to be inclusive. We wanted to be the Misfits to be warriors and fight and with a fight attitude, like against something that we want to fight for or against, because we wanted to like elevate the Misfits into a activist category. So from the very initial conceptualization, we introduced a lot of ideologies, different attitudes, possible bodies, or even like these cultural and subcultural elements that were going to be part of the identity of the Misfits. So when Yago started with the process, all these things had already been discussed, had already been put in common. So he was able, and he could introduce this magically because he was completely aligned with all these perspectives. So he also put his own perspective into this, and that's how the Misfits came finally. So I'm now going to let the mic to Yago. Yago, ahora puedes empezar a presentarnos cómo ha sido el proceso, cómo fueron los primeros acercamientos a los Misfits y cuáles fueron pues esos primeros bocetos, ¿no? que tenemos ya de los Misfits.
Okay. Hi. First of all, sorry for my English. It's very basic, and sometimes I try to explain myself, but the most part of the time I need translate for Juanjo. And okay.
No te preocupes, Yago. Like Yago is gonna explain, it's gonna be very visual. So feel free, Yago, to explain it in Spanish, and then if we need it, we can just add some translation. So hazlo en español si quieres, Yago, tranquilamente, y como se va a expresar muy visualmente, después le podemos meter la traducción.
Okay. Juanjo, if you want, I don't need translation for the English. I understand very well the English, but I can't explain myself. But if you want, you can jump this part. Okay. ¿Veis bien? ¿Se comparte bien la pantalla?
Sí, perfecto.
Ok. Estas primeras referencias vienen dadas por West y por el trabajo de dirección de arte de Flan, y van muy alineadas con las series que me gustan y el estilo en el que yo dibujo. Tenemos aquí pues desde series de televisión como Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Gumball, Rick and Morty, Dragon Ball, y también pues otros artistas como los Brosmind, que se me dan como de referencia.
Let me say that in this moment, the Brosminds, they didn't have still for at the moment of our initial work, the Bros Minds didn't have still their own NFT project. So this was a reference of their work as designers, but not as NFT designers. Nada, ya solo decía que los Bros Minds en ese momento no tenían todavía una colección de NFTs.
Sí, sí.
Sí,
Esa parte.
así como inclusión, una cosa que yo veía importante era no partir de otras colecciones, no partir de la estética necesariamente de otras colecciones. Entonces, todas las influencias, por así decirlo, o los toques de inspiración venían de ilustración, venían de series, de como ha enseñado Juanjo, todo un gran abanico de influencias, pero no directamente relacionadas con colecciones NFT.
Exacto. What Flan was explaining and pointing out is that this mood board and the first references, they didn't come from the NFT ecosystem. Like they came more from the pop and culture references and designing references, but and even all the instructions that we made together in this first document that we have already shown you. But not from the NFT collection. So we wanted to make an NFT collection in a free way, with not heritage.
Ok. And, a mí me llegó un primer desarrollo hecho antes de yo incorporarme al proyecto, dibujado por Flan, que son estos personajes de aquí. No sé, Juanjo, si quieres que haga frases más largas y luego traduces o está bien así. Hola.
Así está Flama.
Perdona, que pensaba que estaba con el mute. Que decía que sí, que vayas adelante tranquilamente y que al final cuando pases a la siguiente sección hago un recap, ¿vale?
Muy bien. Nada, quizás en esta parte Flan puede hablar más de este primer desarrollo y sobre todo incidir en la parte de la escafandra, ¿no? De ese elemento que iba a ser unificador y que finalmente decidimos prescindir de él. Flan, si quieres contarte un poquito más.
Sí, bueno, en un principio buscábamos un elemento diferenciador, como has dicho, que dado que en un principio esto tenía como más inspiración en el espacio, en los viajes espaciales, que luego cambió totalmente, pues esa escafandra pues era como un hilo conductor. Pero bueno, esto fue como una pequeña aproximación de ciertos elementos, probar cómo se veían los personajes de frente, porque no había muchas colecciones en ese momento con una posición del personaje de frente, casi todas eran laterales, y empezar a también visualizar como uno de los conceptos, creo que principales de la colección, que era ese punto de activismo trasladado sobre todo a las manos, trasladado a carteles, trasladado a camisetas y a los impresos de camisetas. Era también un poco las cosas que veíamos importantes poder trasladarlas, de forma que cambia mucho el estilo, cambia muchísimo el dibujo y mejora muchísimo el dibujo, pero bueno, ya se empieza a percibir aquí un poco esa intención, ¿no? de lo que queríamos en la colección.
Let me translate a little bit about this. And what Flan was saying is that this first approach to the Misfits were related to the initial idea of the Misfits as well. At that moment, they were not still the Misfits. They were not yet the Misfits, but we knew that these beings were like traveling around the universe, and they were a part of this multiverse perspective. So what we initially decided was to have that they had to have an element, a common element that like made all of them be connected. And this very first element was the scuba thing. So as you can see, all of them have a scuba cap or like a thing in their head. So this was one element, but then they were also they had to express an activist attitude. So the hands were very important in this. Actually, we were thinking in the beginning about if they all had to have their hand rise, like in a way of expressing his or her attitude. But then we finally made it more assorted, like some of them yes and some not. But the hands were a very, very representative element.
No sé si a lo mejor, no sé si comentarles también en inglés la parte de que este trabajo es todo de flan, que no es...
Yes, sure. This part, these designs are the first sketch that Flan made. This was the reference that Flan prepared to Iago. That's why his part is very important in the development of the illustrative process, because he was the one to initially transport or translate the initial concept and the first insights into a expressive form. And then from that, Iago started the process, the illustrative process. Ok, Iago, podemos pasar, si quieres, al siguiente punto.
Ok. Sorry. Una primera parte del trabajo de diseño de personajes y fundamental es el entender los conceptos y desarrollar los conceptos antes de dibujar nada. Y es un poco lo que se representa, ¿no? en este primer folio. Tras entender bien los conceptos, que ya están bastante desarrollados por West, pasamos a la elaboración de los primeros bocetos. En este primer grupo de bocetos, quizá Juanjo, lo que sería más interesante destacar es cómo empieza a verse la forma de la cabeza, como las orejas bajas y la... Sí, traduce.
Flan, tú puedes ir, perdón, Iago, tú puedes ir adelante con diferentes hojas y luego hacemos un resumen. What Flan Iago is explaining right now is the initial relevance of the head and how the head was going to be developed and how was going to be drawn, because we didn't have a real idea of how this identity should be common in all of them. Like, you need to know that you need to see one and the other, even if there are different origins, and understand from their face and from something that it's in like an expression and in an implicit expression, to understand that it's a misfit. So Iago worked a lot trying to make this composition, or first of all try to identify the elements that were the basis. And this one was finally this round head with the proportions of the eyes and the position of the mouth that represented like the bone or the principal element to be common in all of them.
También en esta primera etapa, mientras se diseñaban los personajes, también se tenía muy en cuenta el espacio que iban a dejar la parte del activismo, ¿no? Lo que serían las manos o en este caso los carteles, los tatuajes impresos en camisetas. Se descarta aquí el tema de utilizar textos con los NFTs, con los PFPs o bocadillos. Y sí que vemos que la importancia de lo que es las metáforas visuales, ¿no? Los símbolos antes que utilizar texto. Sí.
No, I just wanted to say that we had a process about deciding if how our intentions and how our perspective and ideas were to be covered visually. So initially we thought about also drawing some text and some background sometimes also with statements and with words, but we finally decided that it was not going to give a positive a positive point on the draws, but instead of that we decided to include all that in symbols and in elements that were like more iconical.
Ok, gracias. Y aquí tenemos, esta es la primera presentación que es el primer contacto que tiene West con lo que ya se parece bastante a los Misfits definitivos. En este primer aproximamiento, si bien gráficamente ya nos convencía bastante a todos, Flan se da cuenta de la importancia de hacer crecer los cuerpos, porque es una parte en la que vamos a meter muchísimo contenido y que es muy personalizable.
Sí, this is the first sketch of the real Misfits, of the current Misfits. But as you can see, there are like all these elements. They are apart or in a second layer, not in the Misfits themselves. And it was a point of inflection in deciding if this was something that we wanted or not.
Hay una vez definido el estilo, hay una primera parte de definir con cuántos orígenes nos vamos a quedar. En un principio se hablaba de todos esos orígenes de los que hablábamos antes, ¿no? Incluso de artistas fallecidos o de homenajes a otras colecciones. Finalmente vamos puliendo ese proceso hasta limpiar la cantidad de orígenes y llegar a los 4 orígenes finales, ¿no? Anfibia, Dystopia, Poshumania y aquí aparece Tecvia, pero Tecvia serían un origen que se descartó y el cuarto origen y el más importante es Humania. También, sorry,
No,
y también la... no. Habla tú, Juanjo.
Just wanted to say that in the beginning there were like different possible origins, including Tecvia, which is one that there is not now in the collection. So you will see on the draws and on the sketches that Iago is gonna share that we like Morphia also, we first initially thought about more origins, but they were not actually giving like the option of developing a whole biography that could worth it. So finally we decided to reduce it into the 4 origins that we now know, because they were powerful and they had a narrative and a storytelling more interesting than the others, because the others, for example, Tecvia, sorry, they were like a Posthumania, like not even having a soul, because Posthumania was something that included the deployment of a soul in a synthetic body, but Tecvia was completely non-human, and the idea was to to include all the narrative in all the possible details in the narratives. So we didn't have like not only in terms of narrative, but also in terms of technically approach. We didn't have the whole perspective to develop properly the family. So we decided not to include it. But yes, it was in the beginning one of the possible misfits.
In this part, we only have a lot of sketch by hand. I normally work first in a sketchbook, and after that I made a selection of the best after talk with Juanjo, with Jaime, Flan, and all the team. And this is only a small part of a lot of sketch that in or a lot of sketch that we choose and discard, and this is only for Posthumania.
Nice. Well, this is
This one is-
amazing. This job is amazing. When we saw it, for example, we realized that because when you see a misfit done, you don't imagine how is the whole process till get there. And when you break down all the process, you realize that every element has an iterative possibility, and to get there, there are some other options and some other sketches that finally lead you into the final proposal. So it's amazing how to get to something so maybe simple at your eye, you have a lot of perspectives, or you have a lot of approaches initially. So this was amazing.
Thank you. And the creative process is not in only one way, and the most part of the ideas comes in strange moments. The Charlie Brown, I don't know how is the word for jersey? The
Yeah.
Better.
Pull over, as you say.
cover of this code is important in the collection because it's in not only in the NFTs, is part of the landing illustration. After a minute, we will see this picture. Amphibia sketches. The first ideas for the fins. This part of the work, yo ya entendía un poquito mejor cómo se trabajaba con arte generativo. Y ya no hacía trabajo en vano de hacer de bocetos que luego Flan no iba a poder construir.
Diego?
¿Sí?
Okay. No, so this is just he's explaining that during the illustrative process, it was so important to validate with Flan, because some of the approaches or some of the developments they were probably limited on the other part of the process, like from the processual perspective, because sometimes there are some limits and some limitations that Flan had to include into the illustrative process to make the final outcome and the final asset to be possible. So basically, some of these ideas are huge, and some of them they were not able to be combined, or they were not able to be included in all this process of combinations that is the processual part.
For example, this one is a good idea, but is if we put this helmet in the NFT, a lot of elements was lost, like the rarity in the eyes, in the ear, in the skirts, in the face.
Y aquí hablo en español porque yo creo que me es más ágil, me defiendo un poco mejor. Aquí yo creo que una cosa que queríamos que fuera importante es que tuviera muchos traits, que fuera una colección muy completa y que cada personaje también tuviera mucha variabilidad, ¿no? Entonces había veces que igual un elemento se comía, como en el caso del casco, se comía muchísimas capas. Pues el casco, pues dejas de tener orejas, dejas de tener pelo, dejas de tener boca, dejas de lado muchos. Entonces muchos de estos los descartábamos y otros lo que hacíamos era generar como muchos 3 dentro. O sea que, por ejemplo, en el caso de muchas veces de las tetas, por ejemplo, tenían multitud de tipos de pezones, o en el caso de algunos cascos que hay, pues tenían distintos tipos de ojos para esos cascos, o distintos tipos de inscripciones, ¿no? Para hacer que un mismo elemento se visualizara de formas muy distintas cada vez que se repitiera.
Maybe alpha bound. It's possible that you have alpha band side. It's possible that you have your mic open, maybe, and we are hearing it on the background. What Flan was saying is that basically all the elements should fit into different possibilities, into different versions of misfits and bodies and expressions and all that. So they had to work a lot into different combinations of one trait itself, because it was supposed to fit into different situations and into different layers. So, for example, one mask, for example, it need from the face to have different eyes, to have different position of the eyes in order to fit. For example, also I remember that it also happened with beards. Then sometimes we have to move the mouth, or they have to move the mouth, because initially the mouth didn't accept some beards or some mustache, so they have to like move it from one position or the other. So all this process is complex and very dense.
There are another family that we discard is Morphia. Okay. This is some ideas for this family. And another one for Morphia. And another big family is Tecpia. This one, but the development of this family is very complex, and we finally stopped the development of this part. But we love this origin, this family, and maybe in the future we can continue with these guys.
We never know if Tecpia would be with us in the future, but Tecpia was, as I said, really interesting, because it was the only one with no, let's say, soul. They were not humans in the beginning. The rest of the others were humans in one moment of their lives, and as Diego saw in this infography of the past and the present of the dystopic and utopic timeline. I don't know if you can go there again, Iago, al mapa de distopia, de utopía y distopía. From in this situation, you can see that Tecpia, they were not originally humans, but made by humans. It was like actually the first beings that were not born in the beginning. So they were built by humans or by other Tecpias, and we cannot say that they don't have a soul. This is something that philosophy still have to answer, but it was the one who were not like nature born. And as Posthumania, they started their life in utopia, in utopian society. So humans were in this multiverse perspective, where like the whole species of humans could be like humans as we are now, could be dystopians, could be amphibians or post-humanians, but Tekbia were not actually humans. So we had this controversial thing, and then all of them made a different path from dystopia to utopia, or they initially started in an utopia pathway, and this was the case for Tekbia. They were completely perfect, and what actually was what robots don't do, or what artificial intelligence don't do, is make mistakes. So that's why they have this utopian reality.
In this part, we can see the Easter egg documentation. La parte en la que estudiamos los Easter eggs que finalmente se van a utilizar. Los Easter eggs seleccionados no son Easter eggs al azar, todos tienen un sentido. Son series o están basados en cultura que o bien es utópica o distópica, pero sí que relacionadas con diferentes tipos de futuro. Y aquí podemos, por ejemplo, ver todos los que están aquí están en la colección. You can see the unicorn of Blade Runner in the hand of a lot of NFTs. In some flags we have this graffiti of I don't know, the Alan Moore comic is F, como la pronunciación de V de Vendetta.
V of Vendetta, maybe.
V of Vendetta, yeah. The book of the I don't in English, Juanjo,
la triqueta. No, what do you say? The
hitchhiker.
The hitchhiker of the space, of the cyberspace. I know how to say.
Hitchhiker to the Galaxy, was it?
That's right. Yeah.
The Pikachu hat. This was an idea of Jaime, who just talked now, and Dragon Ball for the philosophy of to be a better person. This is the turtle symbol of the Master Mutant Rossi. It's a philosophy about you can grow always if you want to fight only without you, against you. Sorry.
And then also the La Llegada, the arriving, which was
yes,
which was actually something that made us thought a lot of things, because we thought about we believe in Misfits as savers also, as some of them, they came here to save us and to tell us how to make changes for a better life, for a solar punk reality. So in this film, The Arriving, you see this. I'm not going to spoiler this, but actually there is a knowledge transfer to humans in order to empower them and to be owners of their destiny. So this is something related to time and space also, because the arriving is not only about a new language, and it's not only about this knowledge, but also about how we therefore made time and space, and the whole narrative of the Misfits are inserted in this, because we are talking about the multiverse, about different humans in different time and spaces doing different lives and facing their reality differently, and how these have an impact on their bodies, on their attitudes, on their state of mind, and on their cosmovision. So I think that is very important, this reference, even though there is not probably so much visual references. There are still some references, but it's more a conceptual reference for us.
Yeah. Another reference. In this part, we can see the development of the chest and the different chest, and the leather, vegan leather clothes, Dragon Ball clothes, the concept development of the symbols of the clothes, of the t-shirts and the flags and the carteles, the
Billboard.
billboard. Yeah.
Sorry, I was mute. Sorry, I was. Sorry, I'm not giving the help that you were expecting.
Okay.
Sorry for that. Yeah, this part of the process, it's very important because there are a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of small references that are contained by the Misfits, and you never know. Like some of them are not perceived by the common people probably, and some of them they are also very almost non-visible, but they are there and they are part of the identity of the Misfits. Dystopia and utopia, yeah, this is also about, sorry,
This part is more.
this is also related to the causes
No.
that we developed, because the whole thing of the causes that you decided when minting came from here. So initially we were talking about, actually, as you see, time, Gaia, Bucle, Equo. Then we fusionate Bucle and Gaia because they were more or less explaining the same or collecting the same ethics or ethos. And as you now know, Equo is for rights, for human rights, for like personal rights, and also identitarian perspectives, like identity politics and so on. And it's Equo because we are talking about equality. But then we wanted to categorize all the compromises and all the fights that are related to environment, and how should be regenerative and how this should be cyclical. And so we came to the word bucle, which is like the infinite and so on, and also Gaia from other sides. So we decided that both of them were actually the same thing, and finally were included as bucle. And then time, that was initially called time, but then was not only about time, because time was the excuse for doing things for yourself, to like related to leisure, to well-being, to conquer your mental health, and to like not to be productive. In those days we were talking about like the science of sleep, and how sleeping it's a way on, and how resting, it was a kind of it was an attitude, and it was also a way of not being conform, and be an activist, because taking your time and not being productive, it's also like an activist attitude. So finally we decided to stay with to get Equo, Bucle, and time. But finally the name was, instead of time, was Chrono, and that's how all of them had a K in their name. So Equo with QU was finally Equo with K, Bucle also with K, and time was Bucle with K. And so that was the standardization that we made. This is process
Here.
Yes, you are. Okay.
Yeah. This is how we work with the complexity of the layers of a trait.
yes, here is where we can explain that there are like so many layers in one misfit. Like every misfit has around 60 layers, and some of them can have like more than that, because they are like one trait can be composed in different layers. It's not just one trait. Some traits are like configured by different layers, and then you have to work also in the position of the layers. And then in the next session about the artwork, Flan could explain this, because it's not the same to be in the front, to be in the second position, or in a third position. And this is how finally a hair can have like the back side of the hair, but you have also the front side of the hair, or the side that is coming through behind your ears, or in front, not in front, but how do you say delante? Jaime, rescue me. How do you say
In
delante?
front.
Or in
Front.
front?
Yeah.
Yeah, in other session we can deep into this complexity of layers and generation, but each trait have some layers for the color, the shadows, and it's very, very complex. And there are subtraits, like there are drawings inside other drawings for make one trait more dynamic. In one session and in the other session of generation, we deep into all these type. But was a crazy work for Iago, like a lot of layers, and layers need to be separate. The line, the color, and the shadow for colorize all the traits dynamically. If you see the collection in OpenSea, casi todos, mostly casi todos los traits have different colors and swatch.
Oops, sorry.
Articles. Articles.
Okay. Yep.
And the skin is dynamically too.
And sorry, maybe we can continue in another session with this part. And this part, the next pictures is only like part of the conceptual development for the web page, and another material for the communication of the concepts of the Misfits.
Yeah, because we wanted the Misfits not just to be static. I mean, they have their own life as an NFT, but we need to open a frame, or to open a window into the communicational line, and how they could be activated into new assets. And so we had a whole process also for the website, and for our media, for our social. So we try to make them be alive.
This is also before we knew if they were going to call Misfits with a Z or with an S at the end. So
Yeah.
this is kind of a in-between stage of what was going on there at the time. This is old, man. This has been ready for a while, eh?
Yes.
This is descarte is discard. Yeah. Discard picture.
Yeah, discard or draft.
Draft picture in the process for the final illustration. This which is that.
This has something interesting, which are the 3 aircrafts or the three spaceships. They are coming from the multiverse, because the ones that are waiting are the humans, are Romania, because they are waiting for the others to come, because everything is going on the Earth. I mean, the whole project of solar punk reality, to solar punk the world, is actually to solar punk our planet Earth. They are coming from a different planet Earth, but in another, as I said, different space and time. And they receive a call from humans and from West, actually, to come here. So that's why you see 3 different spaceships, and the ones standing here are the humans, are Humania.
This is the visual development of the illustration for the web page. The Misphits.
We wanted here to. Sorry, Diego.
No.
Yeah, just wanted to say that here we asked Iago to include in the misfits that were surrounding the roadmap, as they were gonna be this Posthumania, Dystopia, and Amphibia, because humans were on the banner on the top of the website, on the header. They had to be in their elements. They have to be a kind of representing their lifestyles or their placement where they are supposed to be. So that's why they are surrounded by all these small kind of Easter eggs of their lifestyle.
This illustration, I think that is for maybe this is for Chrono, this is for Equo, and this one is for the final name is I don't remember. Gaia? No.
Bucle.
Sorry. Bucle, Chrono, and Equo. This is the. Maybe Juanjo, you can explain the part.
Okay, these other planets, we were thinking about how the Earth should look like in the different situation, in the different realities, and Iago, like very, very accurately create this new Earth, this new planet Earth, that were visually representing the status of the Earth in every situation, in every universe. So the first one that is in a balanced way is for Amphibia. So it represents the like kind of yin yang. So they had this. They started doing bad things, like they start doing a lot of mistakes when they had to face their challenges, and then they smartly reconduct their attitudes and then went into a balanced situation. So that's why you can see like the dirt and the clean clouds, they represent the yin and yang that finally got into a balance. That's why they were initially in a dystopian reality, and then went into a utopian reality. This is the planet for Posthumania, Amphibia. Then if you move, Iago, yes, here we have the current planet Earth for humans. So we are in this moment, in this inflection point, even also almost tipping point, that make us create resources or create lifestyles that could make this fight that we have between the good and the bad to be, or to lead us into a utopian or dystopian future. So we are in this kind of fight between the good and the bad, and we have, and depending on our and the way that we are gonna react, is gonna be more dark or more clean, not in terms of pollution, but in terms of good and bad.
Yeah,
Then this is, I think that this is the most visually explicit. It is dystopia. So they had the option of doing things correctly. That's why there is also a hope that is the cloud, the white cloud there, but they are completely fucked up. So they screwed up, and they now have this kind of desert planet and completely surrendered to pollution, to scarcity, and so on. And this is the planet for Posthumania. You can see there is a perfect balance, and there is no bad clouds. There is no threats or any challenge that they have to face. There is a perfect accommodation of the like positive reality with these balls that are technic balls, like not how to say, like mechanical elements. They are in the space, giving this sensation of balance and equilibrium.
This is a small cloud. Is for the an option to the they will do good things. There are hope in
There is hope,
this
yeah.
dystopia too. And a small thing is about graphic thing about the light. The light is from the west.
Yeah, small details on this. The west is the best.
Sorry. Okay. If you want to.
Yes, sure. Sorry. This is more like the initial work from the like the linkage to the illustration part to the procedural part, which is the really complex abstraction of the elements, of the inner elements of Posthumania that Flan will tell us in the next session. But each Posthumania is different to the other. They have completely individual and different how do you say, mechanisms, and for them they are like the vines. They are like the circuits of their mechanism, and Flan wanted to make all of them individual and different, as they are machines and they cannot be exactly, well, like humans for sure, but they have to be represented on this. So you have here all the elements that were later on even named and classified as like how do you say, with names of inter mechanisms. I don't know how to explain properly. Sorry for that.
Yeah, the circuits maybe.
Circuits, yeah.
Yeah, Posthumania was like a experiment. It's like all the Posthumanians is like they look very similar, but all are different with the details. It's like hacking the NFT collections ecosystem. And the important of Posthumania are, for example, the details. The things are not trades. For example, the circuits is like have a lot of circuits different, and there are not trade in the metadata. And the color is one of the things more important in Posthumania, and it's like a crazy experiment inside the collection for playing a bit more of the collection against, for example, the se me ha ido la palabra.
¿Cuál
En
es?
contra, un poco en contra de todo el trading y la especulación, ¿no? Against the speculation of crypto. It's like a new game. If you want to see the rarity of Posthumania, you need to calculate like human, de una forma humana y no por algoritmos o de una forma mecánica.
Yeah, you explained it perfectly, but let me just recap.
Yeah,
The thing is that Postumania has its own narrative. I mean, it's for sure an origin completely different from the others because they have a mechanical body, they have synthetic body, and they have transcend their own humanity. So that's why we wanted for them to have a different role in the whole collection. So this role it's also a kind of new logic for the idea of rarities in the whole NFT ecosystem. Because as you know, the more precious trade is the one that it appears the less. So with this, if you want to identify how rare is a Postumania, you're not going to identify that by that. So it's a kind of hacking the whole bot or the whole artificial intelligence itself, because what OpenSea does is, okay, I'm gonna identify the times that the trade appears, but in this way, doing every Postumania in a different way with its own trade, different from the other, what you're gonna get is like kind of one of all of them, because the trade that is gonna be different in one is also going different in the other, So all of them are gonna be different. So if you want to see them as different, you want to see the real rarity, you have to do it not from the metadata, which is governed by the machines. You have to do it with your eye, so with the expression, the physical expression of these traits, and that's given the humans a chance against the machines. So it's a kind of subversion of the system through the technological perspective and logic. I don't know if I explain it well, but
perfect.
Yes. After that, only small things about the process. The hands are very important in the character of the NFT, and in the creative process, it was very difficult to think how to the construction of each hand, and this is part of the first sketches. In this case, it's like some notes that Flang and me changed about the decisions. This one is about the background color. This one is about the font. The fonts that appears in the clothes. How did you want to translate?
Yeah.
I'm talking English. Sorry. And in this part, it's more sketches about I think the most important part, because in the hands we can show a lot of concepts about activism, and in these papers we have a lot of the final ideas that we can see in the final work, like the books, the flowers, cable flowers, the cat hand. This is I don't know the name of this flower in English. Is clavel. It's very important in Portugal in the 25th of May, the revolution of the claveles.
Coronation, I believe it's called.
Coronation. Wow.
At least in British.
Okay, thank you. And another kind of ideas, the octopus hand, the robot hand, the signal, It's like a stick with a lot of different configurations for the signal, the stop shield, the puppet hand, the hands. This is a very good idea of Flan. It's like a Molotov cocktail with love. It's like it's in the final work is pink and with a lot of hearts. Maybe.
Yes, we have the reference. We had the reference of the seed bombs and so on, like kind of guerrilla gardening behind, and the cocktail, the Molotov cocktails, would be related to that. And Flan had this great idea. This great idea.
Yeah, and another concepts of around the time. And this is it's like Juanjo.
Yeah, we wanted to have some special misfits for some partners and some possible kind of influencers that try to make the collection have a bigger reach and spread the word of the misfits. So we wanted to offer them and to honor them with these private misfits that are not in the collection, that are not NFTs, that are just JPG. So this is, for example, Manuel Suru, which is from the Doing Good project, which is a friend, and it's also a great project about doing good through NFTs. So we wanted him to be part of the collection with this kind of how do you say honorar, no, to honor them.
Yep.
This is I don't remember the name. This guy, Crypto Boy.
Daniel got hits.
Eso.
This.
And well, these are partners from the. This is actually the brother of the founder of the project. This is Diego Moreno, which is one of the. It is part of the family. And well, we can jump. I think that we can jump into OpenSea if you want finally to see the Easter eggs, and then we can conclude the session with this overview of the.
Maybe I don't know. ¿Cómo puedo quitar esta configuración?
¿Qué prefieres hacer? ¿Qué quieres
Dale
hacer?
a las X.
¿Es una? Sí.
Sí.
Ahí pone borrar todo.
Ah, bien.
A borrar todo, sí, estaba ahí.
Thank you. Okay.
So we are gonna now dive a little bit into the last minutes of the session, and then we will close. We are gonna just like try to explore a bit these Easter eggs that are part of the collection. They are. We have to say that the Easter eggs are not exactly the rarities. Rarities are, as I said, something very complex. It is from the one side related to the amount of times that some trait appears, but there is also some qualitative identification of the rarities, and also these kind of dissident rarities that I told you with Posthumania, that are not in the metadata, but there is in the appearance. So we will talk about this in the next session, but Easter eggs can be non-rare. I mean, some of the Easter eggs appear a lot, and actually the Easter eggs are something related to the narrative, something related to the storytelling behind, to the references, and to our whole world and beliefs. So don't take the Easter eggs as something that is rare. They can be rare because sometimes they are, but they are not necessarily rare.
Maybe we can make a small game if the people wants to speak when appears a new Easter egg. And
Okay. So how do you think about this? How do you want to do it? Like you're gonna scroll and then when it appears something that Easter eggs, like someone can stop and can raise their hand. Okay. So guys, you can open your mic if you want, and if you see something that you consider Easter egg or you think it is an Easter egg, well, I'm just now actually seeing one of them, but
one.
Well, we have the Pikachu head, like the head, the head cap.
In this one
The Muppet.
In this line, we have only one.
Yes.
El brazo del pulpo, ¿no?
No.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball armor. Yeah. This one. This one.
The Michael Jordan T-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut my mouth because
this one in the flag of the center.
Yeah, that one in the middle is super rare, no?
Yeah, this is one of the super rare. And in the
you have the Extinction Rebellion symbol on the mask. It's very small.
Yes.
And then you have also the pirate flag for sure, but you have also the solar punk flag on the other, which is even more relevant for us. There are not so many solar punk flags.
The pirate flag is from One Piece series, anime series of Luffy and the pirate people. I think that.
Well, we have a lot of statements on the T-shirts and so on. The can. Here we have the
can. Yeah.
This is tell us about the can if you want.
Yeah, can is sorry. Okay.
It's from Montana. Cans is one of the most relevant brands in graffiti cans.
Yeah, but the 94 was for something, right? Iago, the 94.
This was an idea of Flan. I think that
it's one of the brand the cans of Montana, the most popular cans of Montana. If you see 94, you recognize this a Montana 94 can. It's like one of the most popular in graffiti.
Okay.
And Montana, for example, is a band who fight a lot for artists and
they are Barcelona based, so they are a Spanish brand.
Yeah.
There are one metaverse Easter egg there.
Yeah.
Crypto voxels.
From crypto voxels.
Yeah. And
another Easter egg from a big musician.
David Bowie.
Yeah.
Well, we have also here some hairs that remind us to another musicians.
This one?
Yeah, the
is in the for me in the first sketch of this hair is for Kiss band.
Yeah. You can also this is something interesting because we have here the how to say I don't know how to say the cover that like Albornoz. I don't know how to say it, like kimono. You have this kimono with this solar they are solar
solar cells. Yeah,
solar cells.
Solar shield. This one.
We have the Snoopy.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Better. This is a strange Spanish reference. It's like a inner joke. It's
I think it's Italian, Calimero, eh?
yeah, sorry. Yeah. It's this guy. This one. Someone can recognize this one. It's from
Calimero.
this one is Cyclops. I don't know the word.
Cyclope, yeah.
Cyclops is the glasses.
And what, just stop it. Well, maybe Flan could tell us in the next session, but the one of the right, sorry, on the left, this I love the one that stands for I love Impact DAOs. It's kind of rare Humanian post-Humanian transition. So we have these kind of individuals that are in between one, or they have just started the mutation to the other origin. So this is in the metadata. This is a post-Humania, but you still see a kind of humanity behind.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, it's like the first evolution from Humania to post-Humania. It's like have all skin, have mouth.
I don't know if maybe
Okay. And
we can.
here.
I don't know if someone, meanwhile, you can scroll and let's do this thing like in a smooth, like a smooth ending of the session. But if there is someone that wants to ask something, that wants to jump and say whatever, if you have any doubt, if you want to share something with us, it's the moment, and we can just, because this is a more relaxed moment for the final minutes. So please feel free, and we can just close the session in some minutes and not make it longer, like in 3-4 minutes at 3. If there are no questions, if there are questions, we can for sure go a bit more.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, Juanjo. My
No, come on.
question is if the team can talk about more about the Easter eggs, because I don't know if it says I don't know, a clue is hidden in the web or in our NFTs, or I don't know if you could explain more easier the Easter eggs. I appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what I said is that the Easter eggs actually are not related to the rarity, but they are more something about our narrative. What we call Easter eggs, and what it is an Easter egg for us, it's something that is an element that it's not, let's say, originally from the collection. It's not something in the inner narrative, but it's something that it's included to upgrade the asset. So there are, maybe we can, what we wanted to do is to identify all of them, because this is a session of like a first explanation, but what we would like to do is to identify all of them and then tell you, okay, there are like this, the Captain Planet, the existing symbol, the mask of Hal on the film of to say Hal 20. I don't remember the number. Hal. I don't remember.
2001.
Yeah,
Space Odyssey.
the Space Odyssey,
Stanley
but
Kubrick's film.
it was Hal some number that I don't remember.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't remember. Okay, sorry.
So the thing is that we can make the whole selection and share it with you, and then you will know if you have an Easter egg or not, because there are a lot of them, and I think that we cannot go one by one here because it would be endless. But we can like try to identify, not try, like give you an identification and try make you find if you have or not, and we will do it as a gamification on Discord.
Okay. Well, if I understood you well, it's appear in our NFTs. Like, for example, one of them it which has a hat, like like a hat. It's like an Easter egg because it's like a campaign or a collaboration of other company. If
It
we can
depends. Yeah, for example, in this case, you have this is a helmet, but this is not an Easter egg because it's part of the whole narrative of the NFTs of the Misfits. What we call an Easter egg is something that it's related to the popular knowledge or to the popular references like pop culture, like this, for example, like Pocoyo and no, sorry, Hora de how do you say?
Aventura.
Aventuras,
Okay.
Adventure Time, or the other there is Pikachu. All these things are Easter eggs because they are coming from the outside. They are coming not they are not born inside the collection, but they are coming from the outside.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Okay. Thank you.
Easter eggs
Thank you for
are
the time.
Easter eggs are very popular in video games, in artworks, in films, and normally it's like hiding elements and hiding message who the creators left in his art, in his games, for the players find it, and it's like normally it's like hiding things. There are one simple method to find Easter eggs. Is like there are inside the category property. There are one trait is named Easter egg, and you can search all the misfits who have these Easter eggs in the metadata. And it's like a game. You maybe some players can find others. No, it's like more in property. If you open property, it's no the category property on the left.
Yeah.
Don't. There are one category in the P property propiedad. More down. Property. Yeah.
Yeah.
More yeah, and Easter egg. If you mark Easter egg, you can find misfits who have an Easter egg. Some Easter eggs are very difficult, or you need to be a fan of this series, maybe. But it's a simple way to find it. And we can show something, but the interesting is all the holders try to find and discuss about of them.
Okay, cool. Because I only imagine like player one. Yeah, I hope
the
that
Matrix
everyone here. Oh yeah, or Matrix. Yeah.
For example, the Misfit 0768, the tits, so the breast, it's for that Final Destination that you all know probably.
Total Recall. I think
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Recall,
Sorry.
Recall.
Not Final
And
Destination.
this one is Matrix.
Destino Fatale.
Destino Fatale. This spear is from Marvel movies from Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda spear.
Maybe in the properties, sometimes there are names who are like of the Easter egg, and sometimes not. Like sometimes there are a clue in the name of this trait, but sometimes there are not a clue, and it's like for people try to find.
Yeah, that's why I said that the Easter egg could be something that is rare or not, because some Easter eggs are more common, but there are still Easter eggs, and some of them they appear very few times, and that's when they become also they give rarity to the asset. So there is a combination, like you can filter through Easter egg, but then you can see when you go inside of that Easter egg, if the traits that they have, they make them to be rare or not.
Yeah, this one is for someone who can recognize this one. Sci-fi movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. about the future.
Or for example, there are Easter eggs that are not drawings. For example, if you in Posthumania, the strange numerical names of Posthumania have his own Easter egg. If you see, for example, if you go to PH
pH
to
nano
PH body,
pH body, yes.
for example, PH N3S is like NES, is like the 3 is a E, and NES is like Nintendo Entertainment System. Or for example, C A113. Do you know what name is this? What Easter egg is this? The first, the A113.
I don't know.
If you search in Google, is one of the numbers are in a lot of Pixar movies.
Yeah,
and
in the
things.
cars, yeah, in the
Yeah,
this
and it's like la aula, el aula, the class,
when
the
when
classroom number of the animation of all the animation of Pixar studio. There.
And the C17 and C18 is from Dragon Ball too. Maybe the cyborg. And Game Boy, the first Game Boy.
Bro, I'm fucking flipping out. What a kind of imagination. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. 113 or what? Oh my goodness. What kind of imagination that to be that campaign that NFTs collection. Wow. Fuck.
Yeah, because that's
To say.
the thing that maybe you can see something and it's simple, but behind, not also in appearance, but in the metadata, you can find a lot of reflection and a lot of work done before the misfits become misfits. So the way the Easter eggs are organized are through the property Easter egg, as we said. It's not it's a category itself, like inside. So it's actually it's a value inside the category. So the category is property, and then you can go and find the value Easter egg, and then when you check it, you find all that. But you can also go into the category Easter egg, and you can see how many Easter eggs you have. So that's why there are two different levels of Easter egg. If you go to the property and check Easter egg, you will find all the Easter eggs in the collection. But if you go and check also the amount of Easter eggs, you can see that some of them can have 1, 2, 3, even 6 until
Levels.
16 Easter eggs. And then through the numbers of the Posthumania also, for sure, as Flan said.
Nice.
In this case, the armor is from the Miyazaki Studio Ghibli movie, The Castle in the Sky.
In the sky.
It's the most solar punk movie of Miyazaki. It's like a guardian.
Yeah, Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli was a huge reference from us, since they are in the very beginning of the solar punk movement, and some of these elements are completely related to our ethos. Iron Man.
Iron Man with a change in the light with a heart. And this one, very popular comic book. Alan Moore comic book, and this is the.
It's the one with the blood.
Yeah. I don't know the word for this thing in English.
The smiley.
chapa.
The smiley. Ah, the mask.
It's like una chapa.
Bat,
pin?
¿no?
No?
A pin.
Yeah. It's the pin of the comedian. It's a philosophy of the Watchmen. The Watchmen series are very similar with the philosophy of the Misphits and the Quest project. It's about how the humanity can go in a good direction or in a bad direction.
Okay.
And,
maybe if there is anyone who has any other question, and we can be
Yes.
closing the room. There are a lot of Easter eggs. I think that it's the good thing or the beautiful thing is just to dive into them and try to explore them. We will, as I said, we will try to gamify the Easter eggs. We will do something with you guys, and we are working in so many different things. As you know, we are working on the merge, we are working on the nodes, we are working in the new stage of the DAO, working on the passport. So a lot of things going on, but we will be also how do you say, bringing back all the attention to Misfits continuously. So we will be also working on these Easter eggs thing. So if you have also any doubt or you need to know whatever, just ask about it, and we will be happy to answer you.
Yeah,
Aston, do you have any question?
I have a
Or
question.
Alice?
Hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay, great. You gave a narrative of the Misfits. Of where they come from. I'm looking on the site. I see the Humanita, yeah, and the other
Postumania and Dystopia.
yeah, and it seems like you're reading from a history. Do you have any?
Aston, sorry, but we lose you. Like, we don't hear you properly.
Can you hear me now? It's with my
Yeah,
speaker.
perfect. Yeah, right now,
Oh,
perfect.
yeah. Do you have any written narratives on these various planets? Because I was hearing you expound the narrative, and I was wondering if you have anything written down.
Well, it's something that we didn't do we didn't do till now. I mean, we wanted to expand it on a more specific output, like, for example, doing some biography for every origin, or like trying to prepare some like, I don't know, a blog for them, like explaining the whole origins and the planets and so on, because we have it on our minds, and it was like an insight for the developing process, but we didn't write it down. So the narrative that we have is the one that is writing down on the website, but we are completely excited about giving you more information, and maybe doing a small, I don't know, a small book, not a book, but let's say a fanzine or something like that, explaining the whole story, because we want to articulate it, because it is something that it can be iterated and decline it in a very profound way.
Yeah. Well, let me because I myself, I'm a sci-fi writer. I have a book out actually, and I'm
Nice.
this is my whole spiel. Sci-fi fantasy. So if you want to, write stuff down, I'd be happy to assist. Just let me know.
Nice, perfect. Yeah, for sure. Well, it's it's amazing. That's what we want. I mean, we wanted to do it in a kind of fan art way, because it's the way it should be. Like, you get appropriated the Misphits, because it's something that we gave the seed, the initial seed, and what we wanted is you to take that and have like your own initiative, or maybe collaborate with us in order to develop it more. So yeah, for sure, I'm gonna take your name now, and I'm gonna be in touch with you. And if we go ahead with this, it would be great to collaborate with you, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Connect with me. It'll be great.
Thank you so much for your offer, and thank you so much for your interest. Great.
Melies have a question. I'm going to share a screen one moment.
Yes.
About quantum complexity.
And
okay. Okay. Quantum complexity is very simple. I think I explained this more in the session of generative, but if you search, you can try to identify to see what changes. For example, 1 to 5, you can see the complexity of this posthumanian is very simple, and if you see the circuits, you can see the difference.
No estamos viendo tu pantalla.
No?
No, you're not sharing the screen, no, Franco.
I think you need to select.
Sí, se ve.
Sorry.
No, yeah, I was selecting it,
selected,
but
okay.
it didn't appear. Great.
For example, I'm going to open this, for example, on this. For example, 24.
No.
You see the screen?
Me not.
Yeah, go into the transmission. Yeah. It says transmission, and you have to click there.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
And yes, 10 to 20, for example. And really, it's the complexity of the machine. And normally is the number of circuits of the machine. For example, this is like quantum complexity is more than 10. And for example, this is quantum complexity. It's like this is very similar, but for example, this is quantum complexity number 5. Okay, and this is quantum complexity like number 16. And you can see the difference, and normally is the number of circuits. For example, all the who have drones normally have more circuits. It's like the white lines, and like it's a more complexity. The guts, for example, I think have a lot of complexity. It's more like forced complexity, but it's one of the things for see the or for count the evolution of each posthumania. It's like a number, but normally it's like number of sensors. It's like if you have 10 sensors, normally quantum complexity are 10. It's like very, very simple, but it's like one type of trait. Is not the drawing. It's like the counting these drawings, because all these traits change, all the circuits is like are different, are a lot, and count have a trait, one trait per circuit is like maybe 100 more, or it's like crazy for metadata and crazy for OpenSea. And for that, for example, there are one circuit count is quantum complexity, but for example, for the las cicatrices, for the scars, there are another counter, is like scar count, is the same, because have one trait for scar was very crazy name all the scars, and for that there are a scar count. It's like similar method. I don't know if si me he explicado bien.
Sí. Perfecto.
Yeah, and there are a lot of tricks like this, because we have more traits than the number of traits in the metadata, and it's like its concept and one way for simplicity, for making more simple the metadata, because you see the left bar of traits and it's very, very long.
Great. Thank you, Flan. I think that we can just close it here. It's been almost 2 hours, and I think that it was like, sorry for the language, but I think that it was a kind of huge overview of the process. We could dive more into this because actually it was a process of 6 months, almost 6 months, like working like with a lot of references, a lot of sessions, working sessions. So, and our minds were completely full of ideas when we started the process. So there are a lot of things to keep explaining, but I think that we can just leave it here, and then next session that we will inform you when it should be. It could be like to explain the generative process, and then from there maybe it will still appear some of this information, and we can still refresh some of the info, and after all those sessions, all these sessions, we will, as I said, keep gamifying with the idea of the Easter eggs and the rarities and so on. I think that we still have to decompose all the collection in different activations. There are a lot of things to still do. So yes, we will be working for that. And that's it. I really appreciate your presence, and it's been a long session. So thank you very much for being here. If you have any question about the artwork, you have Flan and Yago on the Discord. They are, as you know, we have moved from from Misfit Discord to this, and we still have to identify the roles, but they will have the artist role, so you can ask them. And like every one of the team will be also happy to answer you whatever you need to know. So thank you very much. If you want to add anything, please do it now. And from our part, that's it.
Well, I'm just want to say thank you for the session, and it was formative. I was curious about what you guys are about with this metanation and solar punk metanation. Now I'm getting a toe into what you guys are about, and I see you guys are like blossoming like a tree with all these different projects. It's amazing that you guys are doing this and having this occur.
Thank you for your for your support. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
One last question. Around what time? Sorry?
Go ahead, Robson.
Okay, thank you. It's around what time or period of time do you expect the
Sorry, we didn't hear you, Robson. What time do we expect what?
Yeah, to do the meeting, the physical meeting.
The in real life event. The in real life event. We still
Yes.
we still don't have it planned yet. It's something that it's gonna happen for sure, and that it's on the roadmap. But we have to go step by step. We still have to launch the merge. We still have to get prepared for the passport, which will be also probably the way to get into the in real life event. So I cannot say a proper date, but for sure 2023. It's gonna be for next year, because we still have to close a lot of things before that. But we will be opening a process for talking about the in real life event, because as you know, we have a lot of people from overseas, and we want to you to join as many people as possible. So we will be discussing about this. And thank you for the question, but we still don't have a date, so we will be building it together.
Well, no problem. Thank you. Well, always a pleasure to be here and to hear you, of course.
Thank you, Robson.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, all of you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Yago. Thank you, Flan. Thank you, JJ.
Thank you.
Thank you, JJ.
Bye, Jaime.